say at least 30 years. I mean, I've from we were adolescents. Well, the reality is we grew up on a farm, so we're third generation farmers. My grandfather was a farmer. He was a cattle farmer. My dad grew up on the farm and naturally went into farming. He moved away from cattle into fish and into small ruminants. And my brother and I, having grown up on the farming, although we had both left to, at various times in our life, pursue other things, have ended up back on the farm, back in the family business, which is what it really is. And with myself and my brother both having sons, it's quite likely that one of them will eventually continue the family business. Well, the farm is actually two separate operations, one run by my older brother, one run by me. So on my side of the farm, which is the hatchery side, typically it starts at 7 a.m. The workers come in and the first thing that we do is we catch the young fry. Each morning the fish, tilapia are a unique type of fish in that they don't lay eggs which hatch. They have the eggs and they keep the eggs in their mouth. And they actually hatch, and then when the babies are born, they keep the babies in their mouth to protect them from other fish and insects. So in the mornings, they release them to go and look for something to eat, and then find them and put them back in their mouths to protect them. So you have to go in the mornings when they have released them to search for food and catch them at that point. So in the typical morning, starts at 7, we're catching fry, which we'll put in the grader that you saw down there. Once that is done, we're back down here at the hatchery, where we start flushing all of the tanks. So all of the waste in the tanks, which would have been the feed that was not ate from the day before, plus the waste that the fish pass, we flush those. So we drop those pipes. It's connected at the bottom of the tank, so all of the muck at the bottom of the tank will go. Once that is done, then it's on to feeding the fry in here. So we'll feed all of the fry. The fry in here get fed 6 times a day, so pretty much every hour and a half, starting from about 7:30, going until about 4:30 in the afternoon. Once we've flushed the tanks, fed the fish, then it's a general cleanup of the area, clearing the drains, doing the washing out the floor. Once that is done, then usually by about 10:30, that's now when we go to actually feed the fish in the ponds. Now those are the routine daily things. Now outside of those, when a pond is ready to be harvested, to be stocked, we will now come in and remove the fish from the tank. So we'll run the water down and then we quantify the fish. Woo! It's where to start. Quality of feed, which we have basically gotten over by importing a much higher quality feed into the island, which is very expensive because you have to buy in large quantities so that you don't run out, and then you also have to buy several months' worth in advance so that in case the next shipment falls behind. So it costs a lot to capitalize your feed inventory. The quality of the brood stock, we have one of the best genetics in terms of brood stocks because we actually have the land space and the acreage to hold our pure line brood stocks. Most farmers that try to do their own brood stocks, they only have a few ponds and then they end up getting them crossed, and then the pure line brood stocks get diluted. Birds, insects, anything that eats the fish at the size when we have them in the tank, they're susceptible to everything. They're susceptible to each other, they're susceptible to insects, they're susceptible to birds. At the point where we release them from the tanks, they are now susceptible to larger fish as well as birds. And then as they get larger, they're now susceptible to larger birds. And as Roger Clark used to coin them, the 2-foot puss, yeah. Which is still probably one of the largest challenges in aquaculture and farming in general in Jamaica. Predation really is a issue that has to be managed.